Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Patke and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to analyze the first T20 International which took place at the Punjab Cricket Association Stadium in Mohali between India and Australia. And it was a shocking bowling performance from Team India. No excuses for that. They can't even make excuse of the Dew because Dew wasn't prominent in this game. And horrendous bowling, that is the word I would like to describe. And most of our experienced bowlers were taken to the cleaners by relatively inexperienced Cameron Green. So not a great sign before the T20 World Cup. And we are sorely missing Jasprit Bumrah. Bhuvneshwar Kumar's form, unfortunately, I don't know what has happened since the Super 4 games in the Asia Cup. It has gone downhill except for the match against Afghanistan. So there is a lot of scope for improvement, and if the improvement doesn't happen, I'm speaking bluntly, we don't stand a chance to win in the T20 World Cup against Pakistan as well as against South Africa. It is not a given that we will progress from the group at all. And when I look at this bowling, like it or not, I speak my mind. I hope I'm wrong, but we are in big trouble. So yes, we need to figure out our bowling. Australia won the toss and expectedly chose to bowl first, as most of the team does nowadays. India still managed a very respectable total, and I would say that total was chaseable despite the fact that the characteristic of the pitch didn't change in the second innings. 208 for 6 in their 20 overs. KL Rahul once again showed his class. And why he also silenced some critics, because many were saying that he didn't deserve a place in the playing 11, but he once again show his talent, his range, and his strokes were eye-catching. 55 of 34 deliveries, which includes 4 boundaries and 3 sixes. He was eventually caught out by Josh Hazelwood, but yes, one of the most magnificent innings and a timely reminder to the selectors as well as to the fans to never write him off. Rohit Sharma scored 11 of 9 deliveries, which includes 1 boundary and a 6. Unfortunately, he couldn't get going this game. Virat Kohli also had a rare failure, I would say, 2 of 7 deliveries. He was bowled out by Ellis and caught by Cameron Green. He tried to clear the mid-on fielder, but unfortunately couldn't get his timing right, and he was visibly frustrated after his dismissal. He knew that the pitch was very good to bat on, and he could have got a very good score, but that wasn't meant to be. Surya Kumar Yadav once again showed what kind of an X factor we have in the middle order. Unfortunately, couldn't set the stage alight in the Asia Cup. Only managed a magnificent innings against Hong Kong, but if you take that innings out of the equation, a very poor Asia Cup by standards. So this innings will do his confidence a world of good. 46, as I said, of 25 deliveries, which includes 4 massive sixes and 2 boundaries. 2 sixes of Adam Zampa, which were eye-catching, both over mid-wicket and were exactly the carbon copy. He tried to force the pace, and he was out in that instant, but we cannot blame him. And as we know, that I had mentioned countless number of times in my previous videos, that the template we are trying to set is to get close to 200 or as much runs as possible. So individual milestones don't matter. He could have taken 1 or 2 deliveries to get to his 50, but he didn't do that, and that is a sign of a true team player. Hardik Pandya once again going on in his merry way. 71 of 30 deliveries, which includes 7 boundaries and 5 massive sixes, not short, 5 massive sixes. Stroked the ball perfectly well. He is very eye catchy, as you know, when he is in full flow. And yes, Australian bowlers had absolutely no clue. Very good outside the off stump. He cuts the ball very well, and his power game also came into display. His game towards mid wicket and cow corner has improved by leaps and bounds this year, starting with the IPL. So yes, his fiery cameo towards the end propelled us about 200, and it was one of the most magnificent innings played by Hardik. He has played many in his IPL and India career for sure, but this one certainly stands out in my opinion. Akshar Patel, who was substituted or brought into the team as a like for like replacement for Ravindra Jadeja, couldn't really give a good account of himself in the bat this time, though he has impressed in the West Indies as well as Zimbabwe. He scored 6 of 5 deliveries, which includes 1 boundary. Nathan Ellis once again got him. and Dinesh Karthik scored 6 of 5 deliveries. India managed 208. Josh Hazelwood in 4 overs, he gave away 39 runs, almost at a 10 runs per over, and took 2 wickets. Not an impressive figure by the bowler of his standards. He was taken to the cleaners by KL Rahul at the start. Although he got out both the openers, KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma. Pat Cummins in 4 overs gave away 47 overs. Once again, not a performance that you expect from a bowler of his caliber. He was all over the place, and he was cannon fodder for batsmen today, especially Hardik Pandya towards the latter part of the innings. Adam Zampa also didn't impress at all. He was bowling wide outside the off stump, didn't found his rhythm, didn't find his length, and those two Surya Kumar Yadav sixes spoiled his figures. 4 over 36 runs, no wicket to him again. Nathan Ellis bowled beautifully well, I would say. If you observe his bowling carefully, he doesn't bowl two deliveries which are same on the trot, constantly mixes up his pace, bowls slower deliveries, and constantly keeps the batsman guessing, so batsmen don't have an idea to line him up, because he doesn't bowl two deliveries the same. So it is always the batsman is in two minds, whether he is going to bowl a slower delivery, a slower bouncer, I beg your pardon, or a cutter. Wonderful cutter as well, excellent Yorker as well, great skills, and he has shown that over the years for his franchise in the Big Bash League, and Australia have found a real gem here. Cameron Green in 3 overs, he perished to all parts of the ground, gave away 46 runs and took a solitary wicket, but made up for it in the second innings. I'll come to that in a few moments. And Maxi bowled just a single overs, which also costed him 10 runs. Australia needing a target of 209 from 20 overs at more than 10 runs per over, managed to get home comfortably with due assistance from our bowlers as well. I would like to say in 19.2 overs, 211 for 6, Australia won this game by 4 wickets, and it is one of the greatest chases of all time in T20 International. I'm sure that our bowlers helped them quite a bit, but we don't have to take credit away from Cameron Green, and especially the cameo towards the end by Matthew Wade. Played the angles beautifully well, knew where the fielders were, and just went on his merry way. Indian bowlers had absolutely no answers. They were clueless. They tried some things, but that didn't come off due to the brilliance of Matthew Wade as well as the mediocrity of our bowlers. Aaron Finch once again couldn't set the stage alight. Didn't contribute much with the bat. He has been in woeful run of form in the ODIs. That's one of the reasons he took retirement from that format. Everyone hoped that Aaron Finch will score big this time, especially the Australian cricket expert, but that wasn't meant to be. But Cameron Green more than made it up for his captain's failure. He scored 61 of 30 deliveries, which includes 4 boundaries, and which includes 8 boundaries, I beg your pardon, and 4 sixes. Aaron Finch at the toss mentioned that Cameron Green is going to open, so that is an added pressure, that is an added responsibility, because everyone will have their spotlight on Cameron Green, and boy deliver all round the wickets, especially over mid wicket and cow corner. He is perfect through the offside as well. Runs well between the wickets, converted ones into twos, and kept the Indian bowlers always under the pressure. Umesh Yadav was hammered all over the park in his first over. So was Bhuvneshwar Kumar in the power play, and our bowlers had absolutely no answer to his blitzkrieg. Was caught out of 61 of 30 deliveries bowled by Akshar Patel, who was the lone bright shining light in terms of Indian bowlers this innings. But I think he did his job, and he did his job perfectly well, Cameron Green. Then Steve Smith scored 35 of 24 deliveries at an impressive strike rate. As I mentioned in my preview, that his strike rate is a matter of debate among the cricket experts and cricket fans, but this time he perished trying to up the ante, but that is completely understandable. And a decent innings by Smith, I would say more than decent innings by Steve Smith. Glenn Maxwell had a rare failure. He was out for just 1 of 3 deliveries. Umesh Yadav got 2 wickets in quick succession after his horrendous first over. And I thought that India were back in the game, but that wasn't meant to be. Josh English also scored just 17 of 10 deliveries, which includes 3 boundaries. Yuzi took his wicket, but that was the only bright moment for Yuzi in this game. He also had an awful game. He was all over the place, and that's what not you expect from the bowler of UZ standard. He's the lone leg spinner in the squad, and better things are expected from him, and he knows it. Matthew Wade scored 45 21 deliveries, which includes 4 boundaries and 2 massive sixes. And Pat Cummins in one delivery smashed the ball for 4. So that was the end of the game for Team India. A very bad bowling performance and lot of scope for improvement, especially for Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Now because of Bhuvneshwar Kumar, we have lost 2 crucial games. One in the Super 4s against Pakistan, when he conceded I think 18 or 19 runs, and the second against Sri Lanka, where he consider exactly the same amount of runs. So it is not expected from a bowler of his standards. I don't know, his Yorkers are not getting there. He is confused in his mind. You know that when Bhuvneshwar Kumar is clear in his head, there are plans that he works, and those plans eventually work out. But this is not supposed to be the case, and he is our second most dependable bowler after Jasprit Bumrah for the World Cup campaign. Such form doesn't inspire much confidence among the fans as well as among the selectors. So it will be an added responsibility for Bhuvneshwar Kumar to prove his critics wrong in the next 2 T20 games of this series, as well as the 3-match T20 series against South Africa. In the last 3 games, he is not up to the mark, and yes, that is not expected. I am very frustrated by his performance. Pat Cummins scored a solitary boundary. As I said, in 4 overs, Bhuvi gave away 52 runs at 13 runs per over. Can you believe it? Umesh Yadav in 2 overs, he gave away 27 runs and took 2 wickets. Now, in hindsight, I would say that if Rohit Sharma had taken the risk of bowling Umesh Yadav instead of Bhuvneshwar Kumar in the penultimate over, then actually we could have had a chance, or the match could have been close, or the match could have went to the final ball. But that is the advantage of hindsight. That is not of use. But anyways, Akshar Patel bowled wonderfully well, used the crease perfectly well, bowled stump to stump. And when Cameron Green was, I think, in his peak on that innings, he was tearing our bowlers to all part of the ground. He bowled a slower delivery outside the off stump at not much speed, which enticed Green, and he just hoiked it towards mid-on to Virat. So yes, wonderful display of bowling from Akshar Patel, and that will do his confidence a world of good. Didn't have a great outing with the bat, but more than made it up with the ball. Yuzi Chahal also in 3.2 overs gave away 42 runs and took a single wicket. Didn't had a great Asia Cup either. So the form of Yuzi and Bhuvi not inspiring much confidence. Harshal Patel had a woeful return. In 4 overs, he gave away 49 runs and didn't take a single wicket. Matthew Wade lined him up, and he had absolutely no answers. His cutters weren't working, his Yorkers didn't get in the place, and Matthew Wade literally toyed with him. And many things are expected of Harshal Patel. As we know, for the past 2 years, he has bowled wonderfully well for RCB, but we have to give him some leeway because he came back from an injury. But still, I would think 35-36 runs would have been okay, but 49 are too much. And Hardik Pandya also, despite the fact that scoring 71 of 30 in 2 overs, he gave away 22 runs. He persisted with the short ball in the 2 overs, despite the fact that they weren't working, and so he has to be a little flexible with his plans, but that will come with time. All that matters is that currently he is in good form with the bat, and that is helping Team India a lot. So a lot of positives from this game, despite the fact we lost. KL Rahul's return to form, 55 of 34 deliveries, Hardik Pandya scoring 71 of 30, and Akshar Patel's bowling, which has impressed us. But this is a game after posting 208. We should have won, we could have won, but we didn't. So credit to Cameron Green and Matthew Wade, outplayed India, and think I would want Bhuvneshwar Kumar to bowl very well and prove me and all the other critics wrong, because as we know that he's one of the vital cogs in our wheel for the T20 World Cup, and hope Team India makes a comeback in the next game, which is going to take place on 23rd February in Hyderabad. So how did you like my analysis of the first T20? Please tell in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next video. Till then everyone, bye, and once again requesting you all, please subscribe.